Here is a full, long, engaging, emotional story based on your title, written in plain paragraphs, no headings, smooth pacing for a 40-minute YouTube video, and beginning with a powerful hook that connects at the end. Don't cry, mommy, maybe that man will help us. The little girl said it softly, almost like a secret. Her tiny finger pointed toward a stranger, a tall, tired-looking single dad carrying 2 bags of groceries and a backpack that clearly belonged to his own child. He didn't look rich. He didn't look powerful. He barely looked like he had time to breathe. And yet, something about him made the girl believe. That was the moment everything changed. If you're watching this, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because sometimes one simple act of kindness can rewrite someone's destiny. In this story, this one started with nothing but desperation, a child's hope, and a stranger's heart. It was raining hard that evening. The kind of rain that washes away tracks, washes away pride, and sometimes washes away the last bit of strength a person has left. Fatima held her daughter, Aisha, close under the broken bus stop roof. One side of it leaked wildly, dripping cold water on their single suitcase, the last thing they owned after being evicted just 2 hours ago. Fatima wasn't weak. She wasn't irresponsible. She had simply been unlucky, a young widow fighting battles she never asked for. Medical bills, rent increases, job layoffs, and then, the final notice on the door. She had begged her landlord for just 3 more days, but he had simply shrugged. Business is business. And that was it. Aisha had been brave the whole time, holding her mother's hand, whispering, "It's okay, mommy, we'll be okay." But now, even she was shivering, her small shoulders trembling with cold and fear. Fatima didn't cry easily. But that night, she felt everything collapse. And that's when her daughter pointed toward a stranger. The man, his name was Saad, was on his way home after working a double shift. A single father, he had built a quiet life with his 7-year-old son, Rami. Life wasn't easy for him either. He worked 2 jobs, shared custody weekends with his ex-wife, and spent every night trying to be both mother and father to a little boy who was still learning how to trust the world again after a painful divorce. Saad saw them from a distance first, just a soaked woman clutching her child, luggage beside her. People passed by them without a second glance. Cars splashed water near their feet. A group of teens laughed loudly behind them. But no one noticed the despair in that mother's eyes. Except the child pointing at him. He tried to walk faster, not because he didn't want to help, but because he knew how hard it was to ask for help. He knew that look too well. He knew the embarrassment of needing something you had no right to ask from a stranger. But then, "Sir," it was Aisha's voice. Soft, brave, trembling. Saad stopped. Fatima panicked. "Aisha, no, don't bother." But the girl stepped forward and tugged the edge of Saad's shirt. "Mister, can you help? My mommy didn't eat today." Those words cut through him like lightning. Not because of pity, but because he remembered a night just like this, years ago, when he himself had been stranded with a crying toddler and no money left. One kind stranger had helped him then. And he had promised himself, "Someday, somehow, I'll be that stranger for someone else." He knelt down to Aisha's level. "What's your name, little one?" "Aisha." "What do you need?" She glanced at her mother, who was shaking her head, mortified. "Mommy says we'll be okay, but I know we won't. Please don't tell her I said that." Her honesty broke him. He stood up and faced Fatima. "Ma'am, I'm not here to judge. Just tell me how I can help." Fatima swallowed hard, wiping her tears quickly as if they were a stain. "You can't. It's okay, really. We'll manage." "Manage where?" Saad asked gently. She hesitated. I don't know." For a moment, Saad said nothing. Just breathed. Then he made a decision. "Come with me. My home isn't big, but it's safe. I have food, heat. You can stay tonight. No conditions." Fatima froze. "I can't accept that from a stranger." He gave a soft smile. "Then let me change that. I'm Saad. This is my backpack. These are my groceries. And I'm not leaving you 2 here in the rain." Aisha looked up at her mom with pleading eyes. "Please." And sometimes, all it takes is one moment of surrender. Fatima nodded. They walked together, slowly, through the rain to Saad's small apartment. When the door opened, warm light spilled out. Rami ran up, confused at first, but quickly welcoming Aisha like a cousin he hadn't met yet. They shared food, Simple lentils, rice, and tea, but for Fatima and her daughter, it tasted like salvation. One night turned into two. Two turned into a week. Fatima tried to leave every morning, looking for work, but Saad arranged small jobs for her at a friend's office, then helped her find part-time babysitting gigs. He never treated her like a burden. Never made her feel small. He helped quietly, respectfully, always giving her a choice. Aisha and Rami became inseparable. Fatima slowly found her smile again. And Saad, he found something he had been missing for years, someone who understood the weight he carried. But life wasn't done testing them. One morning, a man knocked on Saad's door, Fatima's landlord. He had tracked her down, furious she had left without paying the last month. He demanded the money or threatened to go to the authorities. Fatima broke down, terrified of losing everything again. Saad stepped between them firmly. Enough. She owes you nothing more. You threw them out. You made a child homeless. If you want money, talk to me politely. If not, leave my home. The landlord, intimidated by Saad's steady voice and protective stance, backed off. Fatima cried afterward, "Why do you care so much? We're nothing to you." Saad looked at her, really looked. "You're not nothing. You're someone who just needed a chance. And someone who deserves much more than the world gave her." Slowly, very slowly, they grew closer. Not rushed, not forced. Just two people healing through kindness, honesty, and shared struggle. Months later, on a sunny afternoon at the park, Aisha tugged Saad's sleeve again, the same way she had that first night. "Uncle Saad, can I ask something?" "Of course. Can you, maybe, be my daddy too?" Fatima gasped. Saad knelt, eyes stinging with tears. "If your mommy says it's okay, then yes. I would be honored." Fatima didn't speak, she only nodded with shaking hands. And that was it. The moment everything came full circle. The moment the story's beginning and ending met in one breath. The little girl who once said, "Maybe that man will help us," had unknowingly pointed to the man who would become their family. And Saad, the stranger who walked by in the rain, became the proof that kindness from one person can rewrite the entire future of another. So if you're watching this, remember. One small act of compassion can save a life. Maybe even yours.